And I thought my childhood was complete with Toy Story 3. Oh boy. Hey everyone, my name's Austin, and this channel is all about helping you to dig deeper and go further to better understand faith, film, and everything in between. If that is exciting to you and you're new here, consider subscribing for a new video every week. Toy Story 4 is here, and this is a movie that when initially announced I thought, but we already have a perfect trilogy with a perfect ending. What more could they do that would be good? Well, they did. I thought that the Toy Story 3 ending was everything we needed for this franchise, but just in the first 10 minutes of Toy Story 4, I realized I was wrong. Though we had what felt like complete closure in the last movie, new areas and these beloved characters are explored in Toy Story 4 that completely subverted my expectations. The story set up for this movie could not have been any better. All of Andy's toys are now happily living with Bonnie except for Woody. Bonnie has begun to grow out of Woody and doesn't play with him as much anymore, and he's starting to lose his sense of purpose. Then enter Forky, Bonnie's new toy that she made on her first day of kindergarten orientation. And Forky is confused about his purpose. After all, he's a spork. He feels that he should be used once, twice, and then thrown away. But Woody, seeing Bonnie's love for Forky, makes it his mission, once he's able to convince Forky how much he means to Bonnie, to get Forky home to Bonnie. So we go on this crazy, fun adventure. We meet characters like Gabby Gabby and her creepy ventriloquist henchman. And of course, the always incredible Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman. And once again, just like in Always Be My Maybe, the new Netflix movie, Keanu Reeves deserves a nomination for Best Supporting Actor because he's Keanu Reeves and he's amazing. Okay, now back to Toy Story. I've heard a couple sour apple thoughts on this movie and the direction that it took both Buzz and Woody. The main thing I heard about Buzz was that he was dumbed down, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Since the beginning, Buzz has not been the sharpest tool in the shed. He was thinking he was on this planet in the first movie, and just all throughout the series, I've never thought of him as like a sharp person. He's got a lot of knowledge and he's a really good friend, and in those moments that matter, he really delivers and follows through. But I don't think he was dumbed down. I felt like his character was definitely consistent even through this fourth movie. The complaint about Woody is that he was just selfish the whole time, which I don't think was his main characteristic. I do agree that it seemed to me like an intentional part of his character that was well done. I really enjoyed his character arc. Now, I thought the perfect ending was at 3 with how they ended the character of Woody, because now he's got his new home, his new kid, and everything's perfect and happy in that way. But then, well, what happens when that kid grows out of him and he just continues to feel that neglect and loses that sense of purpose that he has? And I thought this was a really good character arc because he's just so obsessed with having this one kid and he doesn't know what to do without that. And he's always had that throughout the trilogy, and I thought it was a good idea to take his character in this new direction because it really gives him some interesting character development as they bring these new elements to his personality. He's always had them, I feel like, but this is where it really comes to the surface and we see that it's something that needs to be worked out with him. And I feel like where he ended up landing at the end of the fourth movie really makes the most sense for his character even from the beginning, because it lands him in that place where he has a new purpose and it's not something that's going to kind of grow old or wear out. Even at the end of the third movie, he found that new home in the new kid, where in this, he needs to learn that in life, sometimes you have to let go. It would have just been a similar story had he been with Bonnie all these years, and it would have just been a cycle, where giving him this new character arc, this new direction, this new purpose, it really lands his character in a place that I think is really satisfying, at least it was for me. Okay, I think I've talked about Woody enough. Gabby Gabby as the villain was really interesting because she wasn't really a villain. She was her own character in the story who had a purpose that she wanted to fulfill for herself. And it was really neat kind of how they took that spin on it to not necessarily make her a villain. You can totally feel for her and what she wants. And of course, the best villains are not just the complete opposites of the heroes. They have their own goals, their own desires, and you can totally feel for them. They just do things a little bit differently than you might think, oh, I wouldn't have gone that way. But I think that really works for her in this movie. I could watch the whole gang and even all the new characters. Duke Kaboom and Bo Peep has an excellent character arc. They really brought some depth and meaning to her character. I could just watch all of these characters and toys interact and have fun and do stuff all day long and not get bored. Now let's jump to the main theme of the movie because it's brilliant in my opinion. And this will be spoilery, so if you've not seen the movie and you don't want the story spoiled for you, go ahead and go watch the movie because clearly I recommend it. I definitely think you should see this one if you're a fan of the Toy Story franchise. Come back, finish the video, and we can talk about it in the comments down below. So the theme of this movie being that of letting go. I bumped the camera, and not only just letting go, but that sense of purpose, because that's kind of the biggest desire each of us have. We want to have a feeling of purpose and meaning here on this world. And Woody got caught up in kind of the cycle that I mentioned earlier that he's in, where like kid, lose the kid, lose the kid. And then that doesn't really get you anywhere. And Bo Peep even addresses this saying like, aren't you like tired of just the same old routine where don't you want something new and exciting in your life? You have to let go of your past and really take that risk to embrace the future. And Woody's like, well, what if it goes wrong? What if it's the wrong choice? And it's like, you won't know until you make that decision and really take that risk and jump headfirst into what that could be for you. I really appreciated that theme of don't worry about your purpose that you have right now, of if that's going to be your lifelong purpose. That can be great, and look what Woody accomplishes through that, giving Bonnie back Forky and all that it does to bring joy and meaning to her life, but finding that new purpose for himself and how that can bring fulfillment to his life, of now at the end of the movie giving away all these toys, helping these children to bring joy to them, and it really gives him a new purpose and a new fulfillment in his own life. And then of course, just like before, he let go of Andy at the end of the third movie, but still old wounds kind of reopened in that when we look at him in the fourth movie. And it's really neat to see him actually letting go of this thing that has really been a part of his life for like 15 years, since Andy was a boy, all the way to when he gave him up for college. And I loved that Toy Story 4 actually gave us a new approach to these characters. By the way, randomly, the animation is absolutely stunning for this movie. There's moments where it doesn't even look like animation at all. The lighting and all the textures and things like that are gorgeous. Back on track. So I love Toy Story 4. I think it's a really fitting end for the franchise. I don't think they're gonna go any further than this. Who knows? They might. But Woody's off on his own now. The gang's doing their own thing. So with everyone split up, I feel like this is definitely a good sign of the end of the franchise. I absolutely really loved it, and I would like to know if you liked it as well down below. What were your favorite moments of the movie? And of course, and as always, if you have enjoyed this video and you are looking to dig deeper and go further to better understand faith, film, and everything in between, you're in the right place. Subscribe to my channel to check out a new video every week, and I'll see you in the next one.